Alright, I think I got her this time. Only failed this thing like 2 or 3 times.
No solace.
There we go, we got her. Alright. Only 3 or 4 tries.
We did it! We beat her!
Uh-oh. Flashback.
What is this?
I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
Seven hells. It's her, the Butcher.
Don't be scuffing up the floor.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven.
I had to say something.
Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you.
That's something.
For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
That was unlike any better I've ever seen. I'm not entirely sure how I survived it, to be honest. One wrong step, and I would have lost my will to that fiend for the rest of my days. 'Tis a sobering thought. Lisa's certainly living up to her own idea. Not every commander would choose to enlist a former enemy's aid in battle. I think I shall make a habit of checking for primal influences before our meetings from now on. We encountered our fair share of enthralls outside the palace, enough to delay us from lending you a timely hand, I'm afraid. Commander? Well, fourteenth men, I've heard. That was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Cardinal would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have. Gosh, my fault. My stupid mistake. Nay, lass. We were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room were the only thralls in our ranks. The soldiers who first spoke up in favor of the Qualum keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sir Lakshman's influence. Thanks, Yashoda. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Felona turned up. What was she even doing there? I asked her to come. Blada blada, life story. Simply shame, shimmy, shimmy bang. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Regenford was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fuller's picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. You say the world in which Cordona grew up is partly to blame for what she has become, and as Alam Nahigan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. Not hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face, if that's what it takes. It is a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, African. First step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you are not interrupted. Tickman, you and the Sirens are to stand down. Get some rest. You earned it. I love me some rest.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government modelled on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. 'Tis a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze...
Whoops. What you doing here?
Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Raubon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
So that's why so many people's here, because this is a long, long one. At least. Can't even see her over here. There she is. It's Alfman. Amrod is of an age with Fordona. Both of them born out in the Hagen. One never wanted his Garlean blood, and the other tried to become Garleanian, but could never be. Similar yet opposite, which would go some way to explaining the tension between them. I went to see Polona in her cell again. She did turn the tide of the battle after all, and I thought it only right to thank her. But she wouldn't listen. She said neither wanted nor needed my gratitude. That I should go away. I don't know if I'll ever understand her. It's your future wife. You better get ready.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Ooh, got him.
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Raubarn. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Yes, the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raubarn.
Well, that was unexpected, though you seem distinctly unsurprised.
I knew about it.
Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Ala Mhigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Alright, I spoke with Lise. I guess we gotta speak with her again. Oh, Lise must be overjoyed to know that General Adlin is staying, though I suppose I shouldn't call him General anymore. Rubian is the veteran of 100 battlefields. Lise couldn't ask for a more reliable ally to have at her side. That's correct. Rubian, there you are. It seems my road has come full circle. I appreciate the support you showed for my earlier decision, overruled though it was. I think it's about time I head back to Rago's Reach. What's next for all of you? Eorzea will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you. If you've no objections, I'd welcome the company. Man, why don't you come along to the Reach as well, once you've said your farewells to Nanimo and the others? Oh, there she is. Nanimo and Pippin's right there. Upon completion of this quest, you'll be able to access the palace's rooftop garden by speaking to the Royal Majority attendant. Nice. I've asked enough of you, Tickman. My only words for you now are those of gratitude. I must assume Father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, both inside and outside Odal, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured, they will find his owner's edge just as sharp in my hands. Alright, we've read that one. Speak with Lise and Rago's Reach. So let's head on over. We're way down here. We're going way up there. In 3, 2, 1, Shazam. Zoom back out of here. Let's get that speed on. Let's unlock our buttons. Let's take our ether compass off of here. Let's lock it back down. Got some wanted boards. Oh, it's a hunt board. And a lot of quests still in the city. We ain't worrying about them. We on the main story quest line. We'll come back to all this later. Maybe. Who knows? Alright, Lise. Magano. We bought this freedom with blood. That our friends, our enemies, I'll be damned if we're going to give it up again. Anybody else here to talk to? Nope. Well, here we are again. Often has regarded me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Thancred and Nishola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we were lucky to have our echo-blessed companions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye on them for lemon. You can say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kinds still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day. But someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are to ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever get violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lagasim was the broodmother's doing. Whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and M tribes first. I plan to have resistance scouts keep track of the Qualan's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the resistance army? Out of interest. Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the resistance newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Alamego? We call it an army, but the resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups. And when Conrad passes command on to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Rago's Reach. He just happened to be serving as a resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray. But that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Reuben as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all respects the ideal choice, assuming he accepts the post. Alamahigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we have so carefully stowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch Alamahigo blooms. That's it. We got to dress up Rubian. Return of the Bull is done. Patch 4.1, the Legend Returns, is complete. So come on back tomorrow where we start the quest for patch 4.2. But before that, let's do this wind up doll. Oh, wait a minute. I do give thanks to the Kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But their generosity ended. Without coin in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look like so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. That's a pretty face. These dangos are delicious. Will you have one? Huh? More sweetbreads? I surrender my blade to secure what few coins we have. Isn't she the villain? It's like talking to a child. While fate saddened me with this burden, I shall never know. But I am alive, and I must return to my master's side. Come, Tetsuyu. We'll find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. You read the reports? First Doma, then Alamahigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded, that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savage beasts beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head, regardless. Nay, Lord Xenos lives. Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Azorian misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and, above all, accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains. Then we shall soon put the lie to their claims. Saw the stardust come down. What's that with the fist? More heroes. Achievement unlocked. Level 20. It's 20 points. Alright. Achievement. Alright, let me see. Let's see. In our inventory, press our Rubian. Let's use them. Then we got emotes and minion guide. Got a couple in here. What do we got? Dress up Rubian. Recently produced to commemorate Almahigo's liberation. This avatar, the Flame Journal, was originally meant to serve as an apology for the campaign's troubled start. To that end, it was said to have been programmed to beg for forgiveness a dozen different ways. Behavior obedient. Okay, let's summon this bad boy. There he is. Oh, look at him. Little stout guy. Look, he's begging for forgiveness. Right there. Let's see, what's next? Is he gonna beg again? I don't know. Let's move on. What else we get? Oh, that's an old one. Wind Up Ultras. One can only imagine the time and effort Master Goldsmith Goldberg put into the creation of this lifelike recreation of a litrous purple octopus. Let's go ahead and summon him. And there he is. He did a good job making this thing. Good job. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. Come on back tomorrow. Continue on. Till then, y'all take care.